$285 billion Bitcoin heist? Yeah, that's right. We'll stay to the end of this video. I'm going to break it down with what's going on right now. This is probably should be the biggest story in any Bitcoin crypto related stuff in the freaking world right now. Here's the bottom line. Uh, Fall last year, there were some messages. I call them graffiti on the blockchain, hashed in as opcodes with return messages stating that to the early Bitcoin Satoshi era wallet addresses stating that if you do not prove that these coins are yours, we're going to basically take possession of them. Now, it wasn't a prank. This is actually happening. There's a court case that was filed in, and this is serious. This is not a joke. I'm going to show you a couple things and break it down as fast as I can to prove it to you. There's an attorney out in Brooklyn, and he's basically doing this all with an anonymous John Doe party, calling himself Noah Doe, in Manhattan. He claims to have randomly found addresses in the Bitcoin blockchain with an algorithm, just BS, with an algorithm, and that algorithm now is like identified all the Satoshi era wallet addresses, and he's now been ordered service. He asked for an ex parte order to basically say, Judge, let me serve these people inside of the blockchain. And the judge granted it. One judge has been recused from the case already, recused herself. I find that rather odd, rather suspicious. And now this case is going forward. And I mean, if you're supporting BTC, you should be outraged right now, dude. Can you imagine what would happen to BTC if all of these wallet addresses go and a court somehow issues an order and says all the wallet addresses over there that Satoshi had, they all need to be shifted over to this random guy, Noah Doe, just a random ass guy, and he gets them now. Can you imagine? It would freaking. This is serious, dude. This is majorly serious. Let me share my screen right now and kind of like make my case and show you what's up. All right, so. Yeah, here's the article I put up yesterday. Lawsuit takes Satoshi's coins, basically testing the limits of property law is what's happening right now. Now, here's the bottom line. It's this case right here in New York. Now, this is the complaint. It's only 12-page complaint, okay? But the relief at the end of the complaint says this. It says right here, wherefore the plaintiff pray that the court enter judgment declaring that the plaintiffs are the owners of the abandoned wallets. That's the relief. So that's the most important part. All these wallet addresses, which is a total of about, I think it's about 16,000 wallet addresses. I'm just guessing. I don't know. It's a lot. It's kind of it's a quiet title over all those claims. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Okay, well, I don't know if it's interesting. 900 pages of wallet addresses. This is kind of a call to action as well to experts like Truth, Crypto Rebel, to take a look at these. Are these the same wallet addresses from Kliman? I don't have the ability to figure that out. You know, an expert, are these the same? Look at this. You got 39,000 wallet addresses. 39,000 total right there. All these wallet addresses he wants. Now, here's where it really gets crazy. Look at this service. You've got this guy filed an ex parte order for alternative service. The judge granted it. That's the judge's signature right here. You see that? Judge says, go ahead and serve these people through an opreturn. That's just never been done before. And then the attorney, he filed it in saying he did it. Look, I'm sorry, it wasn't an attorney, it was an expert. This guy, Carlos, he's saying, okay, I served everybody via the opreturn, meaning all those wallet addresses. Look at this. 98 batches all went out. May 22nd just happened. Everybody got served via an opreturn, not a summons. Forget summons. We don't need to do that anymore. We're going to do this opreturn. That's how he served everybody. This is crazy. And then here's the judge who got recused. She recused herself. She says, "I'm out of here." Emily Morales Rivera. I think that's rather suspicious. Acting justice. Something was up here. Why should you just recuse yourself? I mean, I'm got my tinfoil hat on a little bit. I just think it's a little bit odd to see that happen. Automatically recuse herself, like, I don't like being on this case. It's too hot for me to handle. Now, the attorney on the case is this guy, David. Wait till you see this. No, I don't mean to be kind of a jerk, but dude, this guy's a clown. Look at this guy. Look at that fake smile, dude, and the freaking eyes. He's on pills right there. He's on Oxycontins right now, taking the freaking picture, dude. Give me a break, bro. Why you got to be high on freaking pills, taking your bar picture like that, and then you make a fake ass smile, dude? That's shady, man. Very shady. Sorry, dude. I got a little bit of a bone to pick with these fake ass attorneys like this, David. Come at me, bro. You want to talk to me, David? Hit me up, bro. Let's hear. All about it. Tell me I'm wrong, but get a new picture, bro. Come on. What a joke. That's the guy who's doing this all right here. Maybe I'm a little bit, I don't know. I don't have any standing. I'm just a little bit mad that I can't challenge the damn case in a way because I looked into it. There's nothing I can do. I don't have standing on the wallet addresses. I'm not a New York resident. What can I do? Nothing. What bothers me is that this guy, David D. Lynn, nobody's opposing him. There's no defendants who has standing, and there's no plaintiff. Now, what bothers me even more is that the judge is already granting these orders. She's already granting these service orders on the blockchain through the opreturn. That's just bothering me. Now, I get it, dude. If you're an attorney out there, you probably say, well, that doesn't mean anything. He's not really ruling on the merits of the case. I disagree. I disagree. Because if the judge is ruling on ex parte orders allowing service on the blockchain like that, he's reading the 12-page complaint and he's seeing like, is there any merit to this? And he's saying, well, there might be merit. I'll grant the order. If it was a bogus complaint completely, he wouldn't even grant the ex parte order, just deny it. So that tells me that this case is going forward. Now, a couple of issues here are coming up. One is are these the same wallet addresses from Kliman? All right, that's one major issue. I'm going to use a thumbnail from Kliman for this video. So, because I think it's very relevant. All right, so let me just pop this up here really quick. All right. I just lost my thing. Hold on. With the big movie coming out right now and correcting the record because the record is so tainted right now with lies and BS. And these AIs can't even tell me a blanket truth. Remember now, Kliman had nothing to do with fraud. Nothing. Had nothing to do with fraud. I mean, neither did Copa. Judge Miller made that bogus ruling saying that, but again, it bothers me that these bots are so tainted with the I guess it's like anyways, it's just a nonsense that's been trolled through the internet about stuff. So look at this great shot right here, Dr. Wright. This is when he was right before he wins Kliman. And this is taken by Getty, but I'm going to use this as a thumbnail because it's an important piece that you got to look at and think that if this guy, okay, so first of all, my theory is that those wallet addresses are likely not just Craig's, but those are Dave Kliman's wallet addresses. That's my theory. Now, I have no proof of that. I need some experts to kind of look into that. Maybe they will. I hope they do. I challenge you guys too. And my theory is that those are Kliman's because they're just sitting there. And remember, if you go back into the O'Hagan affairs, that's where he actually transferred all those wallet addresses over to. He transferred them over to. Yeah, he transferred all those wallet addresses over to Dave Kliman, 300,000 of them. Wasn't it 300,000 Bitcoin? It was a lot. Uh, yeah. But here's the pleadings. I mean, just a lot of legal stuff. I'm not going to go into. A lot of you guys may not understand, but ultimately, this is the pleadings that he's trying to raise the allegations of that he is that he's basically having standing to these 39,000 wallet addresses and claiming the abandoned property. Now, what's making it interesting is that he's actually turned it over to the police. There's a statute in New York that says that when you turn it over like this is what you're required to do. If you find lost property, you turn it to the police. He did that. He's following the statute. So this is not a joke of a complaint. Now, there's an attorney here that I've kind of been going back and forth with. This is a pretty cool thread on Twitter that I'm creating, so or on X. I would definitely recommend checking this out. Also, Kliman, now he's around. Followers. Kliman, look, whoop, hold on. Anyways, my point is that this guy now Kliman is following me. Where'd he go? Here he is. He just started following me. Dave's brother. I think it's really cool to see what his perspective is with all this stuff because these might be maybe his brother's BTC that this guy's trying to take, and I'm not going to go into it, dude. I'm not trying to pick a bone with the poor guy's brothers. Rest in peace, So I'm not gonna get into that. But ultimately, it's just a really interesting, fascinating thread here because that's a lot of Bitcoin, and I think my prediction is it's not going to go anywhere. But it bothers me that I can't go in there and object. Somebody with the standing does need to. Craig Wright should. He's got standing. He's mined all those BTC. He's got standing. He's got Kliman, dude. He's got the Kliman. Maybe Kliman could object. Ira Kliman. He has standing, right? He could object. Somebody needs to object and file an opposition and say, hey, wait a minute, dude. You guys have crossed the line, dude. Enough is enough. Stop right now where you're at. This is not some sort of an adverse possession, quiet title. Oh, I found a bunch of wallet addresses on the internet. No private keys. I don't have any keys. I have no keys at all. But all of a sudden I want them all. I mean, that's how beyond crazy this is. Anyways, check out my article below. Follow the whole thread. I think it's fascinating history. And I did shoot a bunch of videos. I'll post one at the end here. You can watch the kind of the thread that I posted. Actually, I think I did two of them. One was a discussion with Dimitri, and another one was a video when he did the opreturns and kind of like my take on it at the time. So check it out. More to come. There's a lot more to come on this. I'll see you at the top. All right. That's it. I'm done.